Hi YouTubers, and thank you for tuning in to the Dinosaurs Art Toy Review. Today is of course going to be 6 WaterBirds, alright! And yes, dream on for me, because obviously I'm on this t-shirt, and it's a very different t-shirt, and of course yes, it is also the very last day of this week because we have seen so much really bad hot weather, because obviously the grass has been dried up a lot so far, and mind you, along the way comes some thunderstorms, which is actually amazing because hopefully we'll get to see some heavy big thundery downpours with tons of rain, constant flashes of lightning, and constant rumbles of thunder, which will be totally amazing, yeah! Because honestly, when thunderstorms occur, they make the place from being parched and dry to something lush, green, and fertile. Especially with the grass, eh? And yes, I've done such a great job so far, but the first product we're going to be taking a look at, it is a flip-up origami swimming khaki Campbell domestic duck door pack, which costs about £2, and the packaging's starting to unpack already. There's the back of the packaging, which looks like that. Yes, it looks kind of very similar to those American black ducks that I did before, and the mallard eclipse plumage ducks that I've done before. So we'll take a look at what these ducks are like as the packaging has started to unpack all by itself easily. Now, before I should actually show you the ducks, the packaging has actually got a bit of an arch. There's a bit of an arch sort of cutaway, because obviously the packaging was actually ripped a bit there. So that's why I've decided to cut a little bit like that. So let's take a look at these ducks. We'll take a look at this one here first. This is a male khaki Campbell duck. Look how brown and brilliant this duck is. Although brown, look how amazing and beautiful that blue little speculum is on both sides. And also look at the tail. The tail looks beautiful. Look at this ridge. I'll show you the ridge. This ridgeback actually reminds me of a Rhodesian ridgeback, which is obviously a dog breed for some reason, eh? Look at that, it reminds me of a ridgeback, a Rhodesian ridgeback, going by that beautiful looking dark brown sort of line that runs from the head to the back and where the tail is. And also that cool yellow beak, yeah, that indicates it's a male Khaki Campbell drake duck. Obviously it's a domestic mallard. Obviously it's not a British Wildlife Collection themed product, but who cares? And the next duck here, it is of course a female one, of course. She's got eyelashes, and she's got like a darkish brownish sort of head colorization here, and she's also got like blue speculums just like her male mate, of course. But looking at her, she doesn't have that typical sort of ridgeback sort of colorization as I would have found from the male, but nevertheless she looks so stunning and so cool overall, although with a sooty greyish beak on the front. Looks actually pretty nice, and there you go, that's the name on the back, Khaki Campbell, female duck. Alrighty, so those two ducks are done and dusted. Of course, yes, I don't know if the ducks are going to eject from the packaging. Let's see how it goes. 3, 2, 1, fire. Oh! The duck is just ejected out of the packaging. How weird is that? And it's nearly around 9 o'clock, but it doesn't matter, eh? So I need to pretty much pack those ducks nicely, of course. Back in they go. Yes, and moving along. Next up is this one here. It's a flip-up origami swimming Slender Gull post-breeding small Colonial fight pack. There you go, going by the crossword of the word small. Can you see it? Eh? Do you see the word small? There you go. And it costs about £2.99 or £3. And there's the back of the packaging, which looks like that. Okay, so one thing I've actually realised about these guys is that they're very reminiscent of the Australian silver gull, which is found in Australia. But those guys here were looking like the silver gull from Australia and New Zealand. They actually are from Southern Europe, North Africa, the Arabian Peninsula, and also South Asia, or should I just say the Indian subcontinent. Of course, yes, they do look very similar to silver gulls if I handle one of the adults, but noticing that the eye colorization is a lot more different than what you'd actually find on a silver gull. Although the eye ring and the beak are pretty much the same, the eye color is a lot more different. Instead of white, as what eyes are mainly like on a silver gull, they've got more of a ochre sort of yellowish sort of colorization on the eyes, more of a golden sort of yellow color, like a golden ochre sort of hazel yellow colour. It's almost reminiscent of a much larger gull, like a herring gull, or like a lesser blackback gull, or a great blackback gull, or a western gull, a slated black gull, or a black-tailed gull, or any other gull which is from like the lowest genus, like the Mu common gull. Or I think it's now called the short-billed gull, as funny as it sounds. Here you go, slender-billed gull. And here's the other one as well, looking fairly gullible. Sorry for the pun. Yeah, so they look fairly nice. Both of these are adults. Yes, they look fairly cool to look at, huh? Hey, they look fairly beautiful indeed. Lovely black tips on both sides of the bird. Yes, it looks fairly nice. What I could have done was added like a small white triangular flash, like all the other gulls there, like a black-headed gull, or a silver gull, or a slender-billed gull, or gulls, which stuff like that. Or the grey-headed gull from Africa, that's another one. That's an amazing gull species. I might replicate that. There you go. There's the name, slender-billed gull. Pretty amazing gull species. And we've also got the first winter gulls. Now, I would have thought they would have been juvenile gulls because I can definitely tell by the pinkish beak. I would have thought first winter slender-billed gulls would have like an orangey, yellowy, sort of almost carrot-like beak in terms of its colour, and not what I think they look like. But yes, they do have the same eye colorizations as the adults. Of course, yes, we've also got the name here at the bottom, first winter slender-billed gull. Nice thing about these guys is that they've got a nice looking brown sort of patch right running from the top to the bottom of where the wingtip is. Very reminiscent of how juvenile and first winter birds often molt before heading back into adult plumage. And also this black tailband, although this is pretty much gone, and or how do you say it, this would have been faded or gone completely by late summer, which is of course this month, August. And yes, August is the late summer sort of period, of course, as we head into like early autumn. And although it's hot outside, mind you, we're going to have some very awesome thunderstorms to keep summer cool. Ha ha ha, sorry about that one, guys, but there you go, that's what it's all about. First winter slender-billed gull, there you go. And yeah, that looks fairly awesome indeed, seeing those guys like that. In fact, the current heat wave that we had for throughout all week, it's ending overall. Luckily enough, we're going to revert back into, well, slightly, well, obviously, exactly above, well, not actually above, but actually more like below average, well, below or near average temperatures. And hopefully that should probably sum things up. I think we had enough seeing above or feeling above average temperatures throughout this week. And hopefully it's going to be rain. I hope it will rain throughout the rest of August, because normally August is like the wettest summer month in the United Kingdom during summertime. Of course, yes, there you go. This is another flip-flop Origami slender-billed. It's a swimming slender-billed gull small flop 5-pack, which costs about the same price as the Colonial, sort of product, which came with 3 juveniles. This one's got 5 adults. We'll take a look at all those. I mean, it's pretty much the same, but funnily enough, I might as well examine all of these guys, because no matter on how similar they are, the other things I might look out for is probably the eyes. They might look a bit wonky in the way they've been detailed and all of that whatnot. Noticing they all look fairly nice. Once again, they look fairly similar to the silver gulls of Australia, and I think there was also another gull species in Africa. I think it's called the king gull, or heart-lob's gull. There you go, it's a fairly nice looking sort of bird, of course, they look fairly nice. Yes, fairly nice, fairly cute and petite looking as well. Yes, it's quite funny, as I'm making seagulls, I actually tend to make more so of the small seagulls than the large gulls, because of how compact and small and a lot more higher pitched than the big ones are, although I could say otherwise. But nevertheless, these guys look fairly awesome indeed, eh? They look fairly cool, those slender-billed gulls. And what I will do is I'll put them back into their packagings like that. You know, I do love reviewing toys like that. Let me just put those away, like so. Gently like that, right next to where the Christmas penguin is, right behind. Okay, the next product we'll take a look at is, speaking of gulls, we'll take a look at this product here. This is a flip-flop origami British Wildlife Collection. It's a Bready brown rat bait and herringull pair 5-pack. £2.99 or £3. I should do like a 12-pack that actually has 4 seagulls, 4 pieces of bread, and 4 rats, because you know it's like seagulls versus the rats. Because you know these guys often will eat rats. I mean, not only seagulls will eat rats, but when there's food around, particularly in towns and cities and other urbanized areas and other guff like that and blah blah, noticing that seagulls would obviously eat the food before the rats will come in and eat the food that is literally like laying down on the ground or in water. And what's quite funny is that there's actually a very strange looking reddish pinkish sort of patch. I don't know why. It's a bit grody, eh? Ugh. There you go. There's the rat that looks like Rattata from Pokemon. Let's go ahead and unpack that. Oh yes, and we'll see what it looks like. Funnily enough, we only get one rat, just one rat in every set, but we'll take a look at the rat first. It is amazing just to see Flip-Flop making rats again. Hey, don't we all love those little tiny vermin-like critters, eh? That looks so cute. Yes, I don't know about you, that's the sounds of how rats are like that, eh? And there's its tail here. There you go, there's the ears. Very reminiscent of Rattata, except for the front nose, like that, eh? As in, you know, the pink nose. And there's the incisors at the front, which is very reminiscent of rodents, obviously, eh? Well, let's take a look at the bread that comes with the set. That looks fairly nice. You can use it as bait for the birds or bait for the rats if you want to catch rats and trap them, of course, eh? Just to cull their numbers or prevent them from infesting in your garden or in your house and blah blah. Noticing, if I look back into the herringgulls, there's not much in uniqueness, because obviously they're just regular seagulls. Overall, in a sense, that I think the most unusual part with herringgulls and their adult plumage is that if you head straight towards like autumn and winter, they would have like, you know, dirty brown streakings on their head. Sorry, I got a bit of saliva there, I have to rub in it, eh? But yes, nevertheless, they all say herringull. If I show you what it looks like that, there you go, that's what they look like underneath. Fairly nice, hey, getting a lot of herringgulls like so, eh? It's fairly nice. This is actually fairly nice having seagull themed products like that. 2 of them actually, that will come in and eat the bread before the rat will come and get it as bait. Oh wow, snappy little fellas, eh? I bet seagulls do eat rats, as always, as per usual, but they would also eat the food that the rats would normally eat. And it's funny enough, eh? I mean, it's fairly nice though to have a bit of rodent activity actually, eh? Maybe I should make squirrels with some jays and maybe an oak tree with acorns and nuts. How about that one, eh? Pretty awesome. And let me just take a look at another product. This one here. Oh no, I forgot to add a price. I might probably have that sold for like... well, we'll just go for like... Actually, much better price. £2.99 actually. I might do it in the same... It's funny, everything is all £2.99 these days. Flip-Flop Origami British Wildlife Collection, Swimming Great Cormorant, Riverside Door Fishing 5-pack. Of course, yes, in the summer, you only eat smaller portions of food, because when it's hot and sunny, you only eat small portions of food. Not too much, of course, eh? There's the back of the packaging, which looks like that. There you go. We've actually got a couple of fish species. We've got a couple of sticklebacks, 3 spined sticklebacks, and 1 minnow. Of course, yes, cormorants mainly eat smaller fish during summer and big fish during winter. That's the main difference of what we've got so far. Let's go ahead and unpack this and see what they look like. Hey, they look fairly nice, I suppose, eh? They look fairly nice indeed. We'll take a look at the cormorants first. They all look fairly nice. And, hey, they look fairly beautiful indeed. And there's the other side here as well. Okay, noticing how brilliantly designed they are. Feels like we haven't had a lot of cormorant themed products, but we are getting into the theme of cormorants, which is nice. Fairly nice looking hooked beak at the front. And there you go, there's its name, the Great Cormorant. Of course they build nests up on trees, and apart from just being a, you know, originally a coastal bird, they would also go inland. There it is there, Great Cormorant. So technically they are pretty much like seagulls. In a sense, they move inland for better nesting sites and other whatnot. Even the common tern also deserves to be inland as well, not just a coastal bird. So yes, it's pretty nice having those semi-seabirds, semi-marine seabirds mashed up with the freshwater sort of vibes. But we'll take a look at those fishies next. We'll take a look at what's this one here. This is a male three-spined stickleback, because I can tell by the bright colours of this fish, and so often that, hey, that looks pretty awesome, and hey, that looks fairly nice. I love it, hey. And we'll take a look at the female one. Sorry, I should have actually reframed to see the male closely, eh? But there's the female, like so. There's the other side of it as well. That looks fairly cute. And if I bring in the male, you can actually see that the male is actually a lot more brightly coloured than what the female's like. And look how bland the female is. But nevertheless, that's what you call sexual dimorphism in biology, of course. Oh well. And we've also got this minnow here, which is a common Eurasian minnow, which looks like that. Pretty mundane species found in rivers and streams and creeks and other whatnot you'll find, eh? Maybe billabongs. Actually, the term billabong is more Australian for oxbow lake, which is something I've actually realised. In you go. It's not just a clothing brand or a brand for something to wear on. And last but not least is a flip-flop origami swimming bar-headed goose post-breeding seasonal family flock 5-pack. It costs about £2.99 or £3. Very similar to what I did with the Canadian geese. When you have chicks involved, that's fairly nice to know. That is actually fairly nice having the bar-headed goose back already, because I've seen this guy back again around a couple of weeks ago when I went into Cannon Hill Park. Okay, out comes the geese. And we've actually got 3 of those guys, eh? So we have 3 of those, eh? And they look fairly nice. It's like a mixture of white and grey with orange. Those carrot-like beaks at the front. Hey, that looks so nice, of course. And hey, that looks fairly nice. Almost looks very penguin-esque whenever I think of those colours and that. But oh well. Yes, nothing to worry about details being missing, because obviously I had toys suffered missing, and boy oh boy, I mean, how many times do I have to rant about toys which have not much in the way of detailing? I mean, how frustrating. Toys would literally be, I could just, you know what I mean, I could literally just think why toys would pretty much lose detailing so much. And I mean, detailing costs money. You know, I mean, I could just rant briefly there in this part of the video, because why bother about detailing toys? Because, I mean, give me a break. I'm just sick of toy companies who are mainly in the focus of money, while building toys into much more of a cheaper sort of reframe when they just can't add detailing. I mean, that's just horrendous. Sorry for the ranting, because that's just what I'm actually thinking of. But nevertheless, these guys look fairly nicely detailed in the way they look. And they also have names, and their names are literally called child bar-headed goose. In a sense, they're more of a child instead of a baby. And they look fairly close to their, how would you say it, to their adult-like, how would you say it, relatives or their parents. It's how I see the genetics behind it, guys. And mind you, even if it's sunny outside, I tell you what, there will be a huge contrast by tomorrow and tonight with thunderstorms. Oh yes, definitely. Yeah, definitely something actually, eh? But hey, I think that's the rest of it throughout this whole WaterBird, how do you say it, Hextapole toy review. And mind you, even though I'm wearing a different t-shirt in this VLOGUST video, they're done and dusted! Those flip-flop toys indeed. So yes, I think that's about it in this flip-flop video. So anyways, if you really enjoyed it so far, please give this video a like, stay cool this summer, subscribe for more flip-flop videos in the future, and as always, thank you so much for watching, and bye for now. Bye!